So recently, a customer came to the place where I work and told me he wants to swap his Samsung Galaxy S22 to Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. As you can see on your screen, this is actually a Samsung Galaxy S22, and this phone is automatically now an open box phone with a Type-C cable. Alright, now the Samsung Galaxy S22 is a very good phone, but just as you have noticed, there's no S Pen, on the Samsung Galaxy S22. Well, I did a lot of things on this phone, especially gaming tests. So stick around, or like I always say, let's find out together. On February 9th, 2022, Samsung announced the Galaxy S22 as well as other Galaxy S22 series. And from looking at this phone, you can see that the Samsung Galaxy S22 almost looks exactly, or at least inherits a lot of things, from the Galaxy S21 in terms of design. The only significant, difference between the Galaxy S21 and the Galaxy S22 is the back. Alright, you see, Samsung ditched the plastic back of the Samsung Galaxy S21 and mostly focused on a glass back. You understand, on the Samsung Galaxy S22. But anyways, let's talk about the display of the Samsung Galaxy S22. Alright, you see, among all the S22 series, I mean the Galaxy S22 Plus and the Galaxy S22 Ultra, the Samsung Galaxy S22 is the smallest, and as you can see on your screen, this phone is actually small. It's a 6.1 inch full HD display, and with a 1080p with a 120Hz refresh rate. I want you to focus on this term, the 120Hz refresh rate. You see, what I love about this phone, the Galaxy S22, is that it has a viable refresh rate from 10 Hz to 120 Hz. Now this means that the Samsung Galaxy S22 can conserve battery by using the appropriate refresh rate for what is displayed on the screen. What this means is that if, for example, now you are on your camera, it's not going to use a 120 Hz refresh rate. It will use probably a lesser refresh rate because of you are using the camera, and the camera doesn't need something that fast that we drain your battery faster. But if you're currently using it for gaming, of course it will be stable using the 120 Hz refresh rate, which is actually a very good one from Samsung. Now, according to Samsung, the Gorilla Glass Features Plus on the front and back protects you from accidental drops and scratches. You see, the Samsung Galaxy S22 weighs 107 grams, which is good, because the Samsung Galaxy S21 weighs 169 grams, which is actually not which is actually a slight reduction of weight, and that's actually pretty good. Now anyways, let's talk about the camera of the Samsung Galaxy S22. You see, the Samsung Galaxy S22 boasts of a 50 megapixel main camera paired with 10 megapixel ultra wide and 10 megapixel telephoto. The truth is, if camera is the main reason you want to purchase or order the Samsung Galaxy S22, I would suggest you watch this video till the end, or you can actually focus on the timestamp, as I will actually talk about more about this on my final review. I'll tell you why you should consider another option. But anyways, here are photos of the Samsung Galaxy S22 camera. As you can see on your screen, the 50 megapixel main camera helped to improve detail and also helped to make the pictures have a better light capture. And aside that, the camera is also great for landscape mode too, even much better than the portrait mode. But don't ignore the selfie camera. Like, the selfie camera, it's amazing. Yes, I mean, look at this. Look at me on this picture. And yeah, before I forgot, I can't believe I was going to ignore this. You see, this phone video recording, it has a rare 8K video recording at 24 frames per second. Unfortunately, you might not notice it on this video because of I did this video with a 4K video recording, so you might not notice it. But it's crazy to think that as of June 2025, no iPhone supports 8K video recording. But there's a reason for that. Do you know why? You see, Apple focuses on quality over resolution, like color depth, and they actually one of their stuff called ProRes, which is pro resolution. Yes, and it's really it's really a nice feature on iPhones, but this video specifically is Samsung video, so yeah. Anyways, the only phones out in the market that actually has a 8K video recording at the moment now, or the only brands actually, is Xiaomi and a particular Sony phone, you understand, that has 8K video recording. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about the battery and performance of the Samsung Galaxy S22. You see, the Samsung Galaxy S22 comes with a 3700 mAh battery, which might be disappointing for you because the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery. It's very disappointing actually, because Apple increased their battery on the F13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, and Samsung chose to reduce theirs. It's very very disappointing. Okay, but the good news is that the super fast charging is amazing. To be honest, or to be specific, the 25 watts wired fast charging and 15 watts wireless charging is actually pretty much good and really fast. All right, now unlike the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra that has a unified Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset for all regions, the Samsung Galaxy S22 comes with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Now, and that's actually if you are in the US or in Canada, like you understand, that's actually the chipset that's used in that location. And Exynos 2200 processor if your carrier is in the UK or in Europe in general. So those are the ones people that use the Exynos, you understand. So in essence, your Samsung phone can either have an Exynos chipset or a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Okay, the chipset of this phone, actually, whether Exynos or Snapdragon, is very powerful. But the question is, how powerful? Anyways, let's do a gaming test using Call of Duty Mobile. I have already installed codm on this phone, so here we go. As you can see, the AMOLED display is amazing, beautiful colors and true blacks, pretty much good. Please forgive me about my terrible gameplay. The problem is that my personal phone is bigger than the S22, so I'm finding it difficult to navigate through the screen, you understand. But don't worry, you will actually see my phone because it's actually part of a speed test I would do after this one to compare with the Samsung Galaxy S22. As you can see on your screen, the 120Hz refresh rate does not skip, which is great because you know why? In the F13 Pro Max, Apple made it clear that the reason one of the best feature of 13 Pro Max is ProMotion, and ProMotion is actually a 120Hz refresh rate. But the problem is that ProMotion doesn't stay long, like it's inconsistent. Sometimes it's a 60Hz refresh rate and sometimes it's a 120Hz refresh rate. So it's so much inconsistent, and sometimes I feel like the motion is not praying at all from Apple perspective. But yeah, we're not done yet. Let's do a gaming test using Delta Force. Now, before I start, I need you to understand something. I have been playing this game for more than 30 minutes while making this video, and the vapor chamber you understand, on this phone is doing an amazing job cooling this phone down. And in case you're wondering, the battery of this phone is actually amazing too, as I have charged it up, to 55%, and I've been using it for almost 1 hour plus, and it's currently 15%. And this is great because the S20 Plus battery oh my god, I use that phone and they cry if I'm playing this thing, if I'm playing this football game, this Konami game. I can't remember the name now, but yeah. But anyways, I know you're laughing at me because the truth is that I'm not that good with Delta Force at all. I tried downloading it on my own phone, but I couldn't play. But I feel like deleting this right now. Anyways, so far so good. The Samsung Galaxy S22, is doing an amazing job. And at this point, I've charged this phone a little bit because the truth is that I'm preparing to do a speed test. If you notice, the speed test on with the with Delta Force just now, my phone is showing 15%, so I need to charge it, which is the S22. So yeah. But anyways, let's do a speed test between the Samsung Galaxy S22 and Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus using Call of Duty Mobile. To be honest with you, I never knew I was going in for a surprise, but let's watch it together.
Are you fucking me?
From this video, I understood something. You see, people underrate the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Like, wow. The crazy part is that the Samsung Galaxy S22 had a good start, but it's safe to say we know our winner. So from this test, we've got to understand that this is the first disappointment from the Galaxy S22. But well, let's do a speed test between Samsung Galaxy S22 and Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus using Call of Duty Mobile. I know you're getting bored, but come on, calm down. Let's just do it, okay? As expected, Samsung Galaxy S22 did disappoint normally. So lastly, let's just do a speed test between Samsung Galaxy S22 and Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus using Delta Force. As expected, the Samsung Galaxy S22 didn't disappoint. Now, I would give you my final review concerning the Samsung Galaxy S22 for gaming, okay? But for now, anyways, let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy S22 concerning software update on this phone. You see, if you bought this phone in 2022, you notice that it came out with Android 12 and One UI 4, and Samsung made it clear that this phone will get 4 years of software update and 5 years of security upgrade, which means that the Samsung Galaxy S22 will get Android 16, One UI 8 later this year. And I have a feeling that it's going to be possibly after Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Flip 7 launch, that's when they'll do it. And if that's the case, I suspect October or November, but I'm just speculating. Not that I'm saying that's when they'll launch, I'm just speculating from the way things is going. But yeah, my final review concerning the Samsung Galaxy S22. You see, with everything that we have done so far in this video, it's safe to say this phone was built with gaming in mind. I mean, put that in quotes, with gaming in mind, because the truth is that I enjoyed playing CODM on this phone quite a lot. And speaking of CODM, I have a WhatsApp group I would love you all to join. Link is in the description. Okay, but anyways, you see, the refresh rate for gaming in this phone is very consistent, and in comparison with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, very terrible. Okay, but in essence, if you're buying this phone because of gaming, you are likely to enjoy it, and something in which personally I would recommend. I'm enjoying it. The only problem is the size. Stand is a 6.1 inch display. But aside that, the phone is great. I love the feel. I love the way the weight of the phone, and it's amazing. Great for high quality gaming. I recommend this phone. But if you're a content creator or a professional photographer or a video editor, I would actually suggest you get, well, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And the reason for that is because the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has a 108 megapixel main camera, and you might feel like maybe it's just there for paper or on paper, but the truth is not there on paper, because this camera is really mind-blowing. Of course, unfortunately, I don't have an S22 Ultra to show you guys at the moment, but sooner or later I will do a video on it, so I would love you all to please subscribe actually. But anyways, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra also has 18 megapixel periscope lens, which is great for 10x optical zoom, which is going to be great for a professional photographer. You understand? So this phone is actually built for productivity. The S22 Ultra productivity. So I will advise a content creator or a photographer or a graphic designer to actually prefer to use the S22 Ultra. Okay, but if it's not in your budget at the moment, and it's okay, you can actually work with your budget with the S22 camera. The S22 camera is actually amazing. I'm talking about a 50 megapixel camera. It's pretty much amazing. From this picture, I'm doing on this picture, like you can see how I'm looking amazing on this picture. The camera of the S22 Ultra, the S22 camera rather, is pretty much amazing. Okay, so honestly, the S22 is actually a very good device. Just the little comments I made mention of earlier, and aside that, perfect. Okay, but if you're looking for a phone that is much affordable for you, and maybe the S22 is just too expensive for you, I would actually especially if as a gamer, I would suggest you check this video out or this other one out. Link is in the description. So thank you and so long.